The Cram Fire in Central Oregon exploded this week, now stretching across more than 90,000 acres, with more than 700 firefighters on the scene. The fire is being fueled by hot weather and windy conditions and is threatening several hundred homes. It has also prompted evacuation orders to be issued in 2 counties. As fire season heats up in the West, Jonathan Vigliotti shows us a new strategy to restore forests once decimated by wildfires.
In the heart of Oregon's Fremont-Wainema National Forest, crews are going to new heights to harvest a precious commodity.
I've gone apple picking, I've never gone cone picking.
We're looking for the ripe cones at the top of the tree.
Using lift operators and climbers, Brian Kittler with nonprofit American Forests showed us how his team hunts for pine cones in a new battle against deforestation.
The more that we lose forest, we're losing our clean air, our clean water, our ability to remove carbon from the atmosphere and address climate change.
The threat, the West's unprecedented breed of megafires, which, fueled by climate change, have destroyed more than 33 million acres since 2020, around the size of the state of Arkansas. Matt Castellan fought fires until 2018 before scaling up trees to save them.
In your time fighting fires, did you see a change in fire behavior and just how extreme these fires had become?
Yeah, 100%. When I started in 2000, a large fire was 20,000 acres. And, in the end of my career, we burned that in a day.
If nothing is done to restore these forests after a fire, what happens to them?
So we're looking over here at the Berry Point fire, which was 2012. There's basically no live trees and there's no natural regeneration happening.
It's a vicious cycle. Fewer surviving trees means fewer pine cones for humans to pick and plant.
Once those pine cones are collected, they're brought to a network of nurseries like this. The seeds are extracted and then grown into these seedlings. There are about 1 million here,
which represents about 4,500 acres of new forest.
It's something that takes all lands and all hands to come together.
Gwen Meyer, American Forest Director in the Pacific Northwest, doesn't live far from the Medford, Oregon nursery growing these seedlings.
Is this enough to restore the landscape that has been lost because of these fires?
No. It's not even close. I mean, it's a step in the right direction, but then there's going to continually be a need as these fires continue to burn.
The U.S. Forest Service says it's short about 200,000 acres, more than 40 times the number of seedlings at this nursery, and that's just in this part of Oregon. The warming environment also means fewer seedlings will likely grow to maturity, which takes about 20 years.
It's become much more arid, hotter and drier. One of the consequences of that, it can push trees towards the edge of what they can physiologically tolerate. These seedlings here...
Brian Riatini is a geneticist with the U.S. Forest Service. The changing climate poses a problem, but with it comes an opportunity.
We are sourcing more drought-tolerant populations of that species to be planted in these areas that are currently experiencing more drought-prone conditions.
The demand in stock now requires all hands on deck.
Unfortunately, we've had to get pretty good at reforestation.
Logging companies like Galen Smith's are helping the Forest Service source cones and clear scorched land for replanting.
Why is that so important to have that partnership and that relationship here?
Fire and ecology and insects and disease, it doesn't care about a property line. If we're able to replant our little block of land, but we're surrounded by untreated, burned forest land, eventually that's just going to become a brush field and it will burn again and it will threaten our land again.
Neighbors helping neighbors, in a program the Forest Service hopes to expand to other impacted states.
When you look at all of these seedlings, what do you see?
I see the forests that will be walked through by our children and our children's children. This is multiple generations worth of trees that will be out there in the forest.
A new generation of trees that will take root in the American West. For CBS Saturday Morning, Jonathan Vigliotti, Medford, Oregon.